Good morning, good evening, whatever you want to call it. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the FRS. You just got done with what I'm hoping was an exciting PC Division 1 race. I didn't get a chance to see it myself as I was in the Xbox Division 1 race, but we are wrapping up our Saturday running coming up just now with none other than PC Division 4. So our usual wrap up to the Saturday running, and then we will be back again tomorrow. PlayStation has actually postponed their race for this week to next week. They had a vote in the division, so they're going to run actually during the break week and take their break week 1 week early. But we will still have action for you tomorrow on both, well, I guess just on FRS Motorsports. PC Division 3 and PC Division 2 will both be running back-to-back, brought to you by yours truly. And we will have that kicking off at 7 p.m. UTC tomorrow, so get ready for that. PC Division 4 is just getting set up as Space Ghost is making the quick transition across from commentary to the racing spot. Ignore the fact that it says Great Britain Silverstone. For whatever reason, I've reset that twice and re-exported it, and it still gives me Silverstone. So I'm going to try and fix it for tomorrow's running. But honestly, the track, a lot of the track statistics are relatively similar. Still about just about 5 kilometers in length, and also about 230 meters to turn 1. However, only about 58% of the lap is done at full throttle here in Miami, so it's a much trickier circuit. Looks like the lobby is just getting fired up. I will join that lobby, and we will get underway relatively shortly. Well, let's get the game loaded up. We're just about there. Hopefully all of my overlays and stuff are still functioning. I don't really get a chance to test them jumping directly from Xbox to PC. I should actually probably leave the Xbox lobby at about this time. So let's go ahead and bail out of that. But how are you all doing in this lovely Saturday? Temperatures come down quite significantly where I'm at. It's no longer in the triple digits. It's just in the high double digits, which I can't complain too much about. But the lobby is up and we are filling it and getting ready to drive another race day. Let me just sort of dismantle some of my Xbox streaming setup while we wait for this lobby to get started. Also, as you see that stuff coming up on screen, it is not the C1, C2, C3 tires, it is the C2, C3, C4, so the middle of Pirelli's range. But we do still get about the same pace splits. Alright, so just cooling off as we go, just kind of relaxing, waiting for Div 4 to get cycled in. Lobby is open. So we're just waiting for the remaining few. Just go ahead and while we're waiting, let's get into the game. Just double check the settings for Space Ghost since he's making the quick adjustments. 22 players, 2022, car setup full, car performance equal. Pit, all the assists are good. Track is correct. Standard off short long. No practice session this time for PC Division 4. Dynamic weather, realistic start time, perfect forecast accuracy. Broadcast formation lap, immersive pit stop. Okay, just a couple more minutes. We are just running a little past the run time, as we would expect, as the lobby went up a little bit behind schedule. But that is no worries. We've got 10 drivers in the lobby at the moment. And we will be ready to get underway relatively shortly for the wrap-up of today's FRS Motorsports action. Looking forward to it. So let's see what's going to be the next thing to come up on the screen. Is it give us, yes, the incorrect Silverstone information. The 5.4 kilometers is the circuit here around Miami. We will have it correct for the played intro bit, but and I'll have it fixed for tomorrow, which I don't know why it's still broken. So that's all on me. It's my mistake, my fault. But we are about 2 minutes from getting underway, according to the lobby host. So we should be underway relatively shortly in this one. Take a quick peek and make sure things are all going to plan. Seems to be going quite nicely. Just relaxing and enjoying another lovely Saturday of FRS action. Let's check in. Move that over to the correct screen side, wherever it goes. All right, and we can get that out of the way. And I think we're just about ready to get going. Here's the PC Division 4 Championship. Space Ghost in the lead of it, ahead of Stolen Valor. They're both here today, so Stolen Valor trying to claw back some of that championship deficit, as Space Ghost has kind of run away with the championship lead so far at the halfway point of this season. Of course, round 6 here, the kickoff to the second half of the season. We do have a break week coming up after this, so we'll take a weekend off of racing and relax for just a little bit, and then it's right back to it for the remaining 4 races, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we are the 5 minutes after point. I think we should be just about ready to get going. We'll check in with this. Let's see, Reno and Ivy. McLaren, Space Ghost, and Delta is not. Hello Nordy, how are you doing today? Just pinging the last couple of drivers that have not yet joined, and you can see that for some reason it's still saying Silverstone. I'll fix that for tomorrow, and I'll have it fixed for the following weeks. The downside of essentially replacing embedded footage in a pre-made little template means that, well, sometimes things get a little bit messy, and that was the case here. So a little bit relaxed and behind schedule. But as usual, it's the last race of the day, and we are indeed getting underway. No more waiting for those last two who responded to the attendance spot but have not showed up yet. So we will get ready for the correct track information now. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the FRS. We are here with round 6 to kick off the second half of the season here in lovely Miami for PC Division 4, wrapping up our Saturday running. We'll take a look at the circuit here. 5.4 kilometers around with 19 turns, has 3 DRS zones, one on the pit straight, very short one on the long back straight, and that nice curved straight between turns 9, 10, and 11. There's going to be some good action there. It's only the second time the FRS has made multiple visits to one nation in a season, the other time being when we visited both Monza and Imola in Season 4, visiting Italy. Taking a look at the action zones here, turn 11 at the end of that long curved front straight. It's going to be your first best overtaking opportunity. It leads into that little Mickey Mouse section at the tail end of the second sector. And of course, turn 17, you have that huge 1.3 kilometer straight you can see in the background there, down into a very sharp hairpin that leads onto the pit curve. Taking a look at the tires, the mediums 0.7 of a second a lap slower than the softs. The hards about 1.3 seconds per lap slower. And as far as lifetime goes, the softs can go about 10 laps, the mediums 19 and the hards 28 in this 29 lap race. So look for an early safety car to trigger drivers immediately coming to the hards and going to the end of the race. A soft medium is technically on the cards, but puts you very much into the degradation phase of this one. Now, taking a look at the championship, we have Space Ghost out in the lead, 87 points above Stolen Valor's 68. Renovatio is closing the gap with a couple of race wins, 56 points. Zhao has dropped a spot with just 44 points, and Stashes moves up into the top 5. Now, drivers are just about getting done with their outlaps in one moment, and I will make sure that we get us to the action right away. So, Should have that coming up in just a moment as OBS really struggles to switch over. There it goes. And now we've got some pictures for you on this one. Looks like it is going to be Stashes, one of the first drivers across the start-finish line to get that lap underway. We'll jump on board with them and take a look at how they navigate their way around this Miami International Circuit. When you look up to the top right and the top left, sometimes you can see that big football stadium looming on the right side as you speed through the man-made circuit through essentially the parking lots. There's a little bit of elevation change, but not very much, coming through one of the trickiest sections of the track. Where do you find the braking point for turn 7 and 8? And it is long turning, lots of easy braking because it's so easy to snatch your front left tire into that corner. But around we go now, opening the DRS for that first long straight as we're going to head down now to turn 11. The best overtaking opportunity to start in this one. Hard on the brakes just ahead of the 100-meter board. Get it rotated, and now this switchback, this right-hander, allows for a battle to really continue into that braking zone, and then this tricky, very slow section, take a lot of curbs, unsettles the car, just trying to get it in, and then a very awkward rotation left over a little crest of a hill as you go underneath the overpasses, and then you're down this long straight. About midway down it, right about here, you're going to open up that DRS and get that extra bit of speed coming down into the final couple of corners. Turn 17, your next best overtaking opportunity. Get the car slowed down, rotated. The track kind of falls away and you get some serious understeer on the apex there. And you have to be careful on the throttle as you weave through these couple of corners. Open the DRS for the last time, and Stashes will set the provisional best time. We'll grab a hold of the next car across the line who's gone purple in the first sector, but not in the second. That's going to be Cypher. Are they going to take away that provisional pole? They do. They go up to P1, but quickly taken over by Space Ghost, who goes to the 29.7s. And oh, into the barriers is Chronicle. They've crossed the start-finish line. They're out of this session, so they've managed to put up a 31-0, but they are out of this session. So a big crash there. Project Stealth going very slowly to set their first lap time is not going to be anything representative. And it looks like the first lap times are all done and dusted in this one, as it looks like Ivory Lightning is into the pit lane. Renovatio is doing their typical double warm-up lap, so we'll keep an eye on how they are making their way around the circuit here. Bring the timings up as Oba Mendez has gone personal best in the first sector, so looking to set a lap time here. You can see the yellow marks for Stashes and Cypher as they are on their in-laps. They should get wiped off the board relatively quickly here. Although Stashes on a good lap is only 7/10 off of the pole time. They look to be in a position to maybe start to close at least improve. They're still yellow through the first two sectors. It doesn't look like improvements are on the cards. They are on a push lap though. So we'll stay with Oba Mendez here. And we do see that Business Monkey has indeed attached and is in that Haas now and is on their out lap. We'll keep an eye as looks like Renovatio is still on that slow lap before they've set a valid one. Oba Mendez is going to cross the line, goes to a 30.6, and Renovatio on a hot lap now has gone purple in the first sector. About 4/10 quicker than the provisional pole time of Stolen Valor at the moment. We do have an Alpine of Project Stealth about to finish a lap. They have improved through the first two sectors, so two personal bests. Where will they go as they cross the start-finish line? And it's going to be 30.5 for Project Stealth, but Renovatio on for that provisional pole, crossing the line, goes just third, 29.7, only a half a tenth separating the top three drivers in this one. So a very tight field at the top of the timing towers so far today. So looking forward to this one. Yellow flags out of the final sectors. Business Monkey has a bit of a moment trying to get going. We'll go ahead and grab the Haas as they've gone off the track, so they've invalidated both this and the next lap, so they will not be able to set a valid lap time in this one. Renovatio actually going for a second flying lap is just about 13 thousandths better than Stolen Valor through the first sector. It's not purple in the first, but they are still on quite the push lap. That is going to be one of the Alpines moving out of the way. We'll see what the sector split shows for Renovatio as they come across the middle sector split. 104.5 is kind of the target. We'll bring that timing tower back up. And we will see it's just out of the exit of this clumsy left-hander. And they are going to cross the line. No, they're going to be well off. They've lifted out of this one. So we'll grab the next car on a flying lap here. That is going to be Zhao 81. Looking to set a good lap time and a 6/10 improvement over Stolen Valor. Not purple, as Renovatio holds that purple first sector so far in the session, but still a very big improvement for the AlphaTauri of Zhao. Now it's all about getting it right through this tricky little end of the second sector. So much understeer in the cars, and we are seeing across some of the divisions a lot of drivers running fairly low wing levels to take advantage of these long straights. So it makes these clumsy little technical sections even more tricky. Here across the line, 2/10 up on Stolen Valor. So has lost some time in the second sector to Stolen Valor, but is still net up on the provisional pole time at 1:29.708 is the time to beat. Wilco is on a decent lap, as is Ivory Lightning, setting their personal bests for their start. To get their first lap times in, around the final couple of corners comes Zhao 81. See that DRS flip open at just the last moment. Not much benefit crossing the line, and they go fourth overall, so quite a bit of time lost. Over a 10th in that final sector. We'll grab Ivory Lightning, who's now coming through the tricky Mickey Mouse section. Rotating the car, getting on the power, and is going to be just a couple of tenths down from Stolen Valor, so looking to be provisionally around where Cypher is, as even Zhao 81 just shy of 2/10 off of that pole time. So a good lap from Zhao in this case as well. Hard on the brakes is Ivory Lightning, getting the car rotated, waiting for it to get the power down as the track drops away from you. And here they come, trying to make their shortest run to the line. Goes into the 29s, 29.9. So an improvement for them. We'll grab Space Ghost, who is on a flying lap, has gone personal best in the first sector, and is slightly ahead of pole time. Stash is actually a little quicker through the first sector, 3/10 up on Stolen Valor's time, but it looks like, deep is Space Ghost. They're going to really lose quite a lot of time having to take that angle around here. We'll see what they can do at the second sector marking here. Turning in, taking a fair bit of curve. Ooh, the back end getting very light, and that is going to be pretty much it for that qualifying lap, I would say, for Space Ghost. We'll grab Stashes, as Space Ghost, about half a second now off. Stashes is going to come through the second sector. Does not improve on their own personal best, but they are 2/10 up on what the provisional pole time is for Stolen Valor. Stolen Valor seems to have put together quite a good final sector in the lap. We've seen a lot of drivers hit that second sector split, but not take that pole position, taking that second sector split well ahead, but not take pole position away. So weaving it through the last couple of corners. Here comes Stashes. Can they? No, they won't. 29.8 they're unable to take away that provisional pole. We'll grab Business Monkey once again, who this time is on a valid flying lap, coming through the end of the first sector, although it does look like that rear light is flashing. They've burned quite a bit of battery, 7/10 off of the provisional pole time. At this point, would put them somewhere around Cypher. No, behind Cypher, ahead of Project Stealth, right around Project Stealth. Cypher, as we speak, has gone 7/10 faster than Stolen Valor in the first sector. So we'll keep an eye on that as it develops. We may make a late switch over to them as they work their way through the middle portion of the lap. They're just about to hit this technical section that Business Monkey is in now. And Business Monkey is going to be quite a ways off of the provisional pole time of Stolen Valor. Crossing that sector split, 2 seconds off. So we will grab Cypher indeed, as the Red Bull finesses their way through. Purple in the first sector, looking for a good launch off of that corner. Not Purple in the second sector, but 6/10 up on Stolen Valor. And Stolen Valor might be running a very low downforce setup, and it may be all about the straight line speed down this long back straight. Somebody has taken that Purple first sector away. We don't quite have it known yet, as Business Monkey crosses the line and sets at 32.7. Next up across the line is going to be Cypher. Can they work their way up into provisional pole? DRS open. Indeed they can. 29.0. So they've made a little bit of time up on that. Stolen Valor's on their outlap. We'll actually grab Renovatio, who has gone purple in the first sector, but lost time in the second sector. So not going to be an improvement for them. Space Ghost actually goes to 29.0 as well. So big improvements for both of those drivers to get down near the 28 mark. Renovatio is on pace to get to about the 29.3s. if they are stationary, but no, they've decided to come into the pit lane, and that will be the end of that run for them. So next up, we'll grab Project Stealth, working their way through turn 17, getting on the power. 2 personal best sectors, looking to improve in the final sector. Going to come up a little shy of that provisional pole, I think, and they do. They go 29.5, so they beat the previous pole time, but are just about a half a second off of the current pole time. Oba Mendez, next car will grab, who is on an improved lap, as Business Monkey is on another lap, but it is yellow in that first sector, so no improvements there. As I would assume they're probably on an in lap. Yep, and they are indeed. Oba Mendez is actually going to get a little bit of a slipstream off the Haas in front, who's got a dart out of the way. Oba Mendez, though, lost quite a lot of time in that middle sector, 8/10 off of the provisional pole time. They are on 2 personal best laps, or sectors, so they are improving this lap. And it looks like Oba Mendez is not actually able to catch up to Business Monkey at the final part, and Oba Mendez has abandoned the lap entirely. So interesting to see that multiple drivers are bailing out of the laps here. We'll grab Wilco, who has yet to set a valid lap time in this one, so not surprised to see that they are indeed on a personal best. Stolen Valor sneaking their way towards the start-finish line. They did go personal best in the first sector, but no improvement in the second, and they've backed out of that one. So Wilco is on a flyer here, about 8/10 off of provisional pole time, so that would put them somewhere around Stashes at the moment. If they can have a good, strong final sector, they could maybe get themselves closer to Renovatio in P5. But around the final, they've gone a little wide. They've managed to keep that lap valid. Wilco pitching into the right for McLaren. Crossing the line, they're going to be on a 30.2. So they do set a lap time. It is only good for 9th at the moment. So next up, we'll grab Ivory Lightning, flicking the car in to this tricky back and forth section. Now trying to find the braking point for turn 7. Gets the car rotated across the sector split. They're going to be about 8/10 off of the provisional pole time. And at this point, personal best in the first sector, but as it stands, about on margin to equal their last lap time. We'll see if they can find some time in the second sector. It is indeed a tricky one. You can gain and lose a lot of time in this little Mickey Mouse portion underneath the overpasses. Around this tight right-hander, flick it left, up the hill, take as much as you can to open the corner, take as much curb as possible. Business Monkey is out of the session, has crashed on the back straight, and we will see if we're going to get a view of it as Ivory Lightning is coming down to that section of the track. Is that car going to be in the way in the braking zone? It looks to be dead on the racing line, and it is indeed going to impede Ivory Lightning's lap, who's got to adjust. So lots of time lost in that final corner. They're right on the brake marker, and that is going to be bad news for Business Monkey in this one. It is finally cleared, so it is no longer impeding anybody else. Ivory Lightning does improve, goes up to ahead of their Mercedes teammate of Renovatio, goes into 5th overall. We'll grab, wrong button, Stashes. The Alfa Romeo has gone personal best in the first sector, looking to improve for that second sector, as we just have 3 minutes left to go in this qualifying session. So we are getting down to the nitty-gritty. Space Ghost and Project Stealth on outlap. Cypher yet to leave the pit lane. Stash is just a 10th off of that provisional pole time. Could put themselves into 3rd if they can maintain this pace around the last couple of corners. They look to be very low on battery, so that's going to be costing them time down this back straight. Hard on the brakes for turn 17. Flick it in and now open the steering. Turn 18, 19, the last 2 corners of this circuit. Flat out. And across the line goes Stashes and go 4th overalls, just ahead of Stolen Valor. Captain Wilco, next one furthest around the circuit here. And they are going to cross the sector split. And they are going to be well off. 1.3 seconds off of provisional pole at the moment. And that will actually not even be an improvement on their previous best. We'll grab Alba Mendez instead, who is working their way through. We'll jump on board with the Ferrari driver as they break their way into turn 7. High curbs here can get the car a little high-centered. Oba Mendez purple through the first sector. 2/10 up on Cypher's provisional pole lap at the moment. Looks like Space Ghost is also on a lap. Has a couple of corners behind. We'll wait for to see if we can get their timer up relatively shortly. Hard on the brakes goes Oba Mendez. And we will see what their next little health check is here at the second sector split. So trying to navigate their way over the curbing. Tough to do. Lots of understeer, and they've actually crossed the line. They are just about even par with provisional pole. 0.07 of a second the margin. Space Ghost has gone purple in the second sector. Now 0.09 to the good on Cypher's lap time. Cypher has not yet left the pit lane, so Cypher not going to have, even if they come out now, will not make their way all the way around to set a final flying lap. And it looks like Space Ghost and even Oba Mendez may have an opportunity to pit that. Oba Mendez across the line, They only go 29.6. Space Ghost will be the next as they come through the final corner. DRS open, and they do go quicker to a 28.7. Space Ghost goes on to provisional pole, but just wait. Renovatio, a very good first sector ahead of Space Ghost's pace. And Renovatio has been one of the quickest over one lap in Division 4. One of the quicker drivers here in this one, really challenged Space Ghost. And now through the middle sector, we will keep an eye on Renovatio's time and see if they are going to be able to pip that pole position away from the McLaren. Around turn 16, open the DRS. They are just about 1/100th of a second up on Space Ghost time. So, do they have the straight line speed down this back straight? Can they get turn 17 just right in order to take away that pole position from Space Ghost? Hard on the brakes, rotating through turn 17. Get on the power as early as you dare. The car loves to snap through turn 18. Turn 19, hugging the right side. DRS open across the line, and no, they cannot improve. They go third overall. They're not even able to overtake Cypher, so Cypher secures themselves what would appear to be a front row. However, Stolen Valor just a 10th off of Space Ghost time through Sector 1, so we'll keep an eye on this run from the Ferrari, getting in their last run. Battery quite low already, although it seems like they may have just about enough. Hard on the brakes into turn 11. A little bit of rotation on throttle, but it looks like they've got it just about managed through this middle sector. We'll see how much curb they dare to take. Riding the curbs as much as they can, not really opening up the steering too much. A little bit of rotation. How do they go through the second split? No, they've lost time, so they are now half a second off of provisional pole. They are going to realistically be in position just to be right around where their teammate Oba Mendez is, or scratch that, they'll be just ahead of Private Stealth if it's a half a second margin. The Space Ghost is indeed, but very deep into turn 17, late on the brakes trying to push, and not going to make it. A small improvement for Zhao, goes up to 7th overall. Stolen Valor is going to open up that DRS, does go to 4th overall. Renovatio not improving through the first two sectors. And I think that is going to be just about it for this qualifying session. We'll keep an eye on Renovatio as they come through the last couple of corners. Can they find some time in turn 17? But they've secured themselves a second row start, P3. They're just pushing on to see if they can get any more out of it. It doesn't look like they do. They've actually taken a little too much curb and invalidated that lap time. So that is the end of that qualifying session. Space Ghost has taken pole position in this one ahead of Cypher. P2. Renovatio comes home on the second row in 3rd. Stolen Valor 4th. Project Stealth in 5th. Oba Mendez 6th. Stashes in 7th. Zhao is 8th. Ivory Lightning 9th. Captain Wilco in 10th. Chronicle and then Business Monkey rounding out the 12 drivers on the grid today. So we'll get ready to settle in, and hopefully people don't click go too quickly in this one. We will have a broadcast formation lap once again. So I will have to silence the lovely David Croft at some point, so he doesn't chit-chat too much. But we will see what kind of weather we might actually have in store for us. In PC Division R, we saw rain in both the qualifying session and the race. We will see if we can get some of that rain here today for PC Division 4. And I'll say, as it looks like right now, there are some clouds in the sky. There's no precipitation coming to the ground just yet, but it does appear to be a bit gloomy. And the weather does change relatively quickly here around the Miami circuit. So we will just have to see once the race gets underway and we actually get our weather reporting accurate and going through SimHub, just what kind of weather we are going to have. So far, nobody's actually readied up, which makes me really proud. Yeah, I know there's a Silverstone graphic up. Unfortunately, it didn't get changed for whatever reason. I'll hopefully have it fixed for tomorrow's races. It's kind of the pain of using a template that you upload or find and replace all the stuff in, and sometimes Adobe doesn't want to find and replace. But all the other graphics as far as divisional championships and all that are indeed accurate, as is the schedule. It is definitely Miami, as the cars are indeed pulling off the grid of Miami today. So it is 100% definitely Miami. Starting tires, Space Ghost on the hards, Cypher going for the softs, Renovatio, Stolen Valor, Zhao, and Ivory Lightning opting for the medium tires. Everybody else on a set of hard compound tires. So, soft tires, not exactly an ideal race tire. Will give them some purchase off the start-finish line. Could give them an opportunity to jump up into the race lead relatively quickly. But those things are going to degrade relatively fast. They can go about 10, 11 laps depending on setup. However, the best of their life is gone by about lap 6. Now, we'll just go ahead and get that audio unmuted so you can hear the cars as they pull onto the grids. McLaren and a Red Bull on the front. Yep, Space Ghost on pole here. It's the championship leader for PC Division 4, so not exactly too surprising. But the red lights are coming up. We'll get ready to go out as the lights turn out, and look at how they get off the line. It actually looks like a decent launch for Space Ghost in this one. Through the pack, there's some slower moving cars as we fan out. Renovatio's dropped a couple places. Oh, in contact as Cypher tries to go up the inside of Space Ghost. It's a half spin. Looks like he's recovered, but he got up to the inside, and I don't know how much space was left. Stash is now on the outside of Cypher as they are sorting for position. Wilco and Business Monkey are battling it out a little further down. Side by side, you're going to have to get it figured out as you head into these kinks, and it looks like Chronicle is slotted ahead of Ivory Lightning, and Business Monkey has gotten past Wilco, who's lost the position to Stealth, although Business Monkey, big snap of Oversteer, and Project Stealth is going to sneak their way on through. We'll jump back up to the lead of the race. We have a Ferrari 2-3 going. Cypher going to have to use the best of those soft tires that they've got and try and make their way back up into position. Chronicle and Renovatio side by side as you saw a quick glimpse into turn 11, although it looks like a relatively pedestrian move there. Zhao and Ivory Lightning. Oh, side by side, there's contact. And damage for Ivory Lightning is, it's really not an area you can go side by side. You've got to kind of sort it out, and that is unfortunate for Ivory Lightning. They should be able to get the car going once again, just local yellows, but there was damage to that front wing. We'll jump back up to the lead pack as Cypher trying to make their way past the Ferrari of Oba Mendez. Down the inside, they have a little look. Space is left by the Ferrari, but not going to quite come off now. Can the Red Bull get the traction down on the soft tire? And not quite do it. Space Ghost, unsurprisingly, setting fastest lap of the race, as it looks like Project Stealth has had a spinner out of the final couple of corners there. Ivory Lightning diving into the pit lane. So Ivory Lightning into the pits, can go on a set of hards to get to the end of this race. It is possible to take the hard compound tire all the way, but discretion may be the better part of valor on lap 1. If you're side by side into that middle sector, just dip out and yield the position and live to fight another day. Oba Mendez a little wide on the exit of turn 7. Cypher a little wiggle getting the power down, but they've got the traction of those soft tires, now have the inside line, and away they go. Oba Mendez, though, going to tuck into the slipstream, maybe attempt another re-attack down into turn 11. They are closing, using that slipstream, using that battery deployment, but it looks like staying on the racing line. They will hold out. And Cypher back up into third. Space Ghost has opened up a 1.4 second gap to Stolen Valor, and Cypher's now got to close up 2 seconds as those soft tires will get worse and worse as the race continues on. We'll keep an eye on Stashes and Oba Mendez now as they are running very close together. We'll have DRS enabled starting the next lap. So down into turn 11, we will see our first bit of possible action via the DRS overtakes here. Stash is settling in behind Oba Mendez in this one, has already lost 1.4 to the lead pack, but Stolen Valor has actually made quite the push and has gotten into the DRS. It was 1.4 seconds just a second ago, and now Stolen Valor really pushing on those medium tires, setting the fastest lap of the race at 32.9, as DRS is now enabled. So Stolen Valor, though, losing out a bit in the braking zones, it would appear, to Space Ghost, as he's dropped back now to about 9/10. Just has to try and hold on to that as Chronicle diving into the pit lanes has not gotten the car slowed down in time and has picked up a speeding in the pit lane penalty. We'll stay with the lead battle here as the battle for the championship lead as well is on it here. So Space Ghost has gone wide through turn 7 and 8. That's going to give Stolen Valor a very good run as soon as that DRS flips open. Now with the slipstreams, about 3/10 the gap as they come through this blindingly quick left-handed kink. Wilco is making their way past Business Monkey. And Stolen Valor down the inside of Space Ghost. Space Ghost going to try and hang it out around the outside. We saw in Div R, that outside line was quite good, as you can see, as it gives them the inside for that next right-handed kink. And then it is a job done for Space Ghost. And now Cypher getting on the back of this battle with those soft tires. All three tire compounds represented amongst the top three. Space Ghost on hards, Stolen Valor on mediums, and Cypher on the softs. So we've got an interesting strategic choice. Cypher, that red light blinking on the back of that Red Bull already, indicating they're under that 10% battery mark. So they are going to suffer in the straights a little bit. Renovatio using the straight line speed of that Mercedes to sail past Oba Mendez in the Ferrari, and now is going to set his sights up ahead to Stashes as there is a battle going on between Ivory Lightning and Chronicle further back. Cypher, unsurprisingly, setting fastest lap of the race on those soft compound tires. So they've managed to make their way through. We'll keep an eye on Chronicle and Ivory Lightning for the moment, although it looks like the lead pack is starting to get into an interesting position. So we'll jump back on with that group. And just keep an eye on the delta for Ivory Lightning and Chronicle to see if there is a reattack. I would be shocked if there wasn't by Chronicle in the Aston Martin. But it looks like it's line astern here through turn 7 and 8, and Chronicle does indeed make the attack down into turn 17. But the switchback, Ivory Lightning gets the exit, and it looks like they are going to come out ahead. However, there's going to be a second dose of DRS for Chronicle, who's just 1/10 back down into turn 1, although it looks like Ivory Lightning has it just about covered. Cypher a little far off to make an attack, while Stolen Valor's having a little look now. Blinking lights on both of the cars following Space Ghost. So it's going to get tricky as the tires start to degrade for Cypher. A little further down, Business Monkey and Project Stealth side by side. Business Monkey very late on the brakes, nearly gets into the back of Project Stealth, and I think that'll be just about job done. We'll hop up to this pack here as it looks like Ivory Lightning and Chronicle have had a tangle in turn 7 and 8, and it looks like Ivory Lightning may be a recipient of some more damage. But Renovatio and the other Mercedes closing on the Alfa Romeo ahead of Stashes. Not quite close enough to affect any kind of move in this one, but they have started to work their way down as maybe Chronicle's got some damage too, as Ivory Lightning has gone streaking right on past. We'll actually hopefully clear this DRS zone to see if Renovatio makes any kind of move. And they do not. Business Monkey is crashed out of this session. There is a full safety car being called, so Business Monkey out once again. We will take a look at, as the safety car was called, Stolen Valor and Cypher were very close line astern. It looks like they've sorted that one. We'll check up with our Ivory Lightning and Chronicle, see who has any particular damage. It's hard to tell. It looks like there's a bit of a mix-up on who had the race position. It looks like Cypher has gotten given the wave through by the game. I don't know if they are supposed to keep that position, though. Mercedes looks to be undamaged in this one as they pass the stricken Business Monkey. Chronicle stays out as well, so it looks like they have managed to cover. Sorry, I had to clear something off my other screen there, and now we will relax, see if anybody's opting to come in for the pit lane. It would be a perfect time for Cypher to come in and make a tire change. Those soft tires are only going to be good for another couple of laps before they start to hit their really high degradation phase. So we'll keep an eye. We'll jump up to the leaders, see if anybody dives to the pit lane. Space Ghost on the hards, unsurprisingly, is staying out. Cypher is into the pit lane, as you would expect. Stolen Valor has stayed out on the mediums. So looks like Cypher going to be the only taker, at least as far as the moment goes. Renovatio is into the pit lane. Likely going to go onto the hard tires to attempt to get to the end of the race. As we said in the pre-show, you can indeed go to the end of the race from lap 1 on a set of hard tires. So looks like Renovatio and Zhao Wilco all opting for the pit lane. Project Stealth, interestingly, onto a set of medium compound tires at that before the safety car was called. I don't know that they will have quite the life to get to the end of this race. So we'll keep an eye on Project Stealth. They're going to have to make some movements, as is Wilco and Cypher. Cypher, interestingly, onto the medium compound tire. I wouldn't expect that to be the move here, as there will have to be another stop made before the end of this race. Those medium tires will hit their puncture territory after about 18 laps. So not going to quite get to the end of the race on that. So we will settle in for just a moment as Space Ghost leads the train around. Ultimately, the mix-up between Cypher and Stolen Valor on whose position it was under the safety car didn't really matter all that much, as Cypher came into the pit lane. At most, gained about a second of stop time, and they came out well ahead, or they came out ahead of other drivers who were in the pit lane already as well, so Renovatio, Zhao, Wilco. So no big issue for that one there, although remind drivers to not overlap while under the safety car. For whatever reason, the game really doesn't like that when there's overlap between the cars, and bad things happen. But since I haven't touched on it just yet, and we are in a decent chunk of the distance of this race, the weather report, as it is a little bit partly cloudy in this one, or partly sunny, depending on if you look at the glass half full or half empty. We are looking for it to get to mostly cloudy later in the race, but ultimately no rain expected in this one. So we are expecting some dry running for the remainder of this session. And it will come down to who's got the right tires to get to the end of the race. Space Ghost has got to make a pit stop since they started on the hards, as does Stashes and Oba Mendez. Stolen Valor has got a pit stop to make, as they have not yet stopped either. Renovatio Zhao in very good position on those hard compound tires that can go to the end of this race. Now, Ivory Lightning is getting a chance to reattach to the end of the pack. Is on a set of 5-lap-old hard compound tires, as is Chronicle is able to reattach as well. Project Stealth has spun out, so Project Stealth has made a mistake, and their entire front wing is gone. Under safety car, you don't expect drivers to make those kind of mistakes, but now seems to be doing a world-class Mahavir Raghunathan in getting the car turned around. We will save the shame. It looks like that Alpine is now going in the correct direction, but safety car likely to be coming in this lap as Chronicle and Ivory Lightning have caught up the pack. And I think Project Stealth is going to be just completely out of this one. Now, most tracks, the Sector 2 split is where you usually see the safety car get called in. However, here around Miami, we've seen it get called in a fair bit later. So usually about midway down this, usually when you hit about the DRS zone. And we will see, and it's right about here typically. Is there any safety car in this lap? Looks like the lights are out. But no, the lights are not out. Lights are still on. So we are going to continue under safety car conditions for one more lap. That will be welcome news for Project Stealth. However, they are still going to be well off of the pack when they make their tire change. Get into the pit lane, get a new wing, and get back out. They're 21 seconds off the back of the pack now. Luckily, they've got a nice big long straight to just go full pelt down. And they've got the best drag reduction system is no front wing. Honestly, I'm curious how they handle the braking zone for this corner. Big lockup? Nope, quite clean. Good drive from Project Stealth as they get back around the final couple of corners into the pit lane they go. Now just needs to be careful not to pick up any speeding penalties. They get the car slowed down nicely. Speaking of speeding penalties, Chronicle carrying the only penalty so far in this race. And that is a 5-second speeding in the pit lane penalty. It is a track where you can run a little bit wide of some of the corners here. And can get some track limits warnings. But now Project Stealth has got some time to catch up now to the back of the pack. Thank you, Virtual. You are a champ. Yes, Cypher is doing a decent drive today. Had a little bit of a mess into turn 1, but has recovered quite nicely. A little bit over ambitious maybe, but it was a little side by side. But definitely showing an interesting strategy. Is on kind of the alternate strategy to everybody else. We will see how that comes out. If they can, if they're a tire whisperer, then maybe they can get these mediums to the end. But I think they are kind of on level pegging, at least with the cars ahead of them. It may be the cars behind Renovatio and Zhao that seem to be the problem. Is Renovatio is one of the quicker drivers in the division. So Project Stealth is working their way around at top pace as to try and get at least as close to the pack as they can. Running very close to the walls there. They do have a set of hard compound tires on, 4 laps in it, but since they did do a couple of laps with them off, those hard tires can now get to the end of the race. So it will be good. So safety car is in this lap. We will check in with the race leader, who now has to back up the pack. It's a late call in for the safety car in, and we did have some issues with people not letting the safety car get all the way into the pit lane, and it was doing the auto decelerate in Xbox. So Space Ghost, though, backing up the pack quite nicely. Pace car nearly into the pit lane. And it looks like Space Ghost has indeed gone. And away we go. Back to green flag racing as Space Ghost leads from Stolen Valor, stashes over Mendes and Cypher. They've broken a 1-second gap to Renovatio. They've gotten the jump. Ivory Lightning is making a move on the inside. Oh, Chronicle well deep into the corner in turn 1 there as Ivory Lightning pinched to the inside by Wilco. And Chronicle is going to get shuffled back into that one just a little bit. Has rejoined just ahead or just behind the McLaren, and Ivory Lightning having to take some avoiding action. Chronicle very aggressive with their lines, putting lots of pressure on Wilco. Oba Mendes and Stashes duking it out into turn 3 and 4, and that is unsurprisingly, Chronicle and Project Stealth have had it coming together. Such an aggressive drive from Chronicle there. It was not a shock to see. But Cypher now looking to make the move up into 4th on the inside of Oba Mendes. Has to get the car slowed down as Stashes is slowing down ahead. It looks like line astern, Oba Mendes trying to get the cut back on Cypher. Cypher just closing the door off, not letting Oba Mendes get that nose in there, and now has to attack on these medium tires. So a good overtake from Cypher there to get that job done. And we will see if Chronicle, it appears by the amount of time they're losing to the pack, Chronicle has indeed picked up some damage here. And maybe Project Stealth as well. But we'll keep an eye out as Renovatio now getting back up to pace. Usually takes him a couple of laps to get on. Cypher having a look down the inside of the Alfa Romeo ahead. Nose to tail they go through into turn 17. But they're going to settle it down, try and get the exit. DRS still going to be disabled for another 2 laps before we get back to it. And Cypher really trying to hustle those on those older hard tires with those fresher medium tires. So into turn 2 and 3. Cypher seems to have a very good run. Renovatio now starting to put some pressure on the back of Oba Mendes. Although losing a little bit of ground through these quick S's here as Chronicle and Project Stealth well off the back of the pack. Ivory Lightning now into the points. P9 just 1 second off of Wilco ahead, who's on those mediums. It looks like a little look to the inside for Cypher. Not going to be enough alongside to challenge for space, but has gotten the exit. Takes to the inside, short lining this long left-hand kink. They are actually going to have the nose ahead as there's a local yellow for Chronicle who has gone around. Down into turn 11 goes Cypher, and they have made that move stick as the battle behind Oba Mendes stashes very tight up. Renovatio getting involved as well. Looks like side by side, Oba Mendes really hustling the wheel through this selection of corners and has lost a little bit of ground to the cars ahead. Now Cypher's got 2.3 seconds to chase down Stolen Valor, who is in the DRS window of Space Ghost ahead. So Cypher doing what needs to be done on those medium tires that are fresh, and now just has to close up a little bit more gap to put themselves in a race leading position. As DRS is now enabled with the leaders crossing the start-finish line. 9/10 the gap to Stolen Valor has Space Ghost the lead. Cypher down right about 2 seconds now, making a little bit more ground. And Renovatio continuing to put pressure on Oba Mendes as this lap unfolds. And we are about to get to the first DRS zone after another 4 or 5 more corners. This tricky little back and forth section, you'll really see who's got the straight line and who's got the downforce, as it does take some sticking to the ground in order to get through this section. Stolen Valor is close to 9/10 on Space Ghost. Cypher continuing to eat into that gap now, just about that 1 second margin. Not quite close enough to get the benefit of DRS that time around. Renovatio does have that benefit, and we will see that rear wing flip open for the Mercedes. So we will grab Renovatio, we will grab the onboard, and we will take a look as they are over 330 kilometers an hour, well to the inside on the braking zone, backed way out of that one. There were some yellow flags. I believe it may have been in this sector that has got Cypher has made a mistake. He's all the way down 2 seconds off. We'll have to see. Has Cypher picked up any damage through this middle sector, or he just got too close to the tail end? It looks like the wings are still all intact there for the Red Bull. All the end plates are connected, but they did lose quite a chunk of time. It actually appears Stolen Valor lost quite a chunk of time, so maybe a mistake from Stolen Valor in front of Cypher. Cypher had to check up a little bit as well, but we'll move a little further back down as this battle rages on. Renovatio looking to get into the top 5 and make their way past the Ferrari. Wilco on Zhao on Wilco, it looks like. Wilco has gone deep. Wilco into the runoff of turn 17 there, and that is how they've lost positions. Renovatio to the outside of Oba Mendes down into turn 1 on the brakes. Gets the car turned in and rotated. We'll jump ahead. Cypher all over the gearbox of Stolen Valor. That age difference in the tires really coming into play now. Oh, and look at the overspeed as Stolen Valor's gone a little bit wide. Have they checked up on purpose? We have seen drivers do some DRS gamesmanship, and it looks like they may have pulled out of the way in order to let Cypher by, and now are going to try and re-attack with the DRS. It's huge overspeed for the Ferrari. Look at how quick he's closing. Rear wing now opening up, and indeed Stolen Valor with the clever move, letting Cypher through early, and has retaken that position. So a good maneuver from the Ferrari ahead of the Red Bull. However, that's going to put Cypher right on their gearbox once again. Are they going to try and let them through this little Mickey Mouse section underneath the overpass? Doesn't look like they really can. Cypher just sticking right in the slipstream, and it looks like Cypher's going to have a chance to attack now. So in the slipstream, wait for that rear wing to flip open right about now. Opening up that DRS, and it looks like Stolen Valor in the Ferrari might have just a little more straight line speed than the Red Bull there. So managing to hold off the charging Red Bull once again. As those tires continue to age, they'll get more and more similar in performance. We'll jump back to the battle for P6 as, never mind, Zhao has gone very deep into turn 17 there. Into the runoff, is going to have to rejoin just behind this Alpine here of Project Stealth, and back to it we go. Ivory Lightning up into 7th now. We'll jump back to the lead pack as once again Cypher and Stolen Valor through the switchbacks. They go. Cypher around the outside and gets that move done on Stolen Valor. Stolen Valor, though, with that straight line advantage, just has to stay close enough to re-attack down into turn 11, as they've done now on the previous lap. And what a release Stolen Valor has gotten off that corner. They may get the job move done before even reaching the DRS zone. Stashes has also gotten involved in this one as the Red Bull and Ferrari duke it out and duel. Stashes in the Alfa Romeo has gotten down the outside. He's going to try and follow the Ferrari through. Cypher closing up. Oh, contact, nose to tail on the braking zone there, as it looks like, oh, contact between the Red Bull and Stashes into the barrier. Stashes with massive damage from that one. It looks like they just ticked into each other, and a full safety car has been called. Another safety car in this one. Lap 13 of 29, and we have another safety car for that incident with Stashes. Looked like he just wasn't enough alongside, had that little bit of contact. Maybe it was close, maybe should have been left space, maybe should have backed out. That will be one that the stewards will have to look at, but a tough call there. As we have yet another full safety car being called now. Space Ghost into the pit lane. Oh, and he's gone too fast. He's carried too much speed, and he's picked up a 5-second speeding penalty. Stolen Valor going to be next into the pits. Perfect pit window for the Ferrari to get onto the hard compound tires. As Space Ghost carrying now a 5-second time penalty. Oh, what a mistake. Stashes also with 5 seconds, although with the damage, they were already going to be in for a long pit. Project Stealth, so many drivers not getting the car slowed down for this pit entry, and we've got tons of issues. Now, Cypher stays out on those medium compound tires. 8 laps old. Renovatio stays out on those hards as well, so he is on a set of tires that can go to the end of the race. Space Ghost on the mediums should be able to get those to the end. 15 laps left to go in this race, so they are well within their window, as is Stolen Valor and Oba Mendes and Stashes, who's getting that damage repaired. However, carrying that 5-second time penalty. Likely was probably called to a safety car because of how long he was stationary on the racing line and the amount of damage being, debris being dropped. We do run reduced safety car frequency, but with how long he was kind of stuck, parked basically right on the racing line, if you don't get the car moved off the racing line quick enough, it will call that safety car out. So it's kind of the tough part of it. So while we're under safety car, I am unfortunately going to really quickly get something to wet the whistle because my throat is dying. Shaken out in this one. We're still waiting for Chronicle to catch the back of the pack before we get ready back to go to green flag racing. We should have green flags at the end of this lap, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Renovatio losing, has pulled a little close to Cypher. They've dropped back into position. Space Ghost is saying that he's lost his force feedback on his way into the pit lanes, and that is why he overshot. And wow, unfortunate for Space Ghost. Should be able to get those medium tires at the end of the race. Safety car is in this lap, and we'll see. Cypher needs to back the pack up quite a lot. This safety car is relatively slow getting into the pit lane, so you really need to bring it almost to a stop on this back straight. We'll just wait as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. Into turn 17. Safety car not yet into the pit lane, so it is actually going to down throttle. As away he goes, he actually got it accelerated. And it looks like he's just about got it restarted properly. So Okay, apologies. Sorry. I don't know how long the comms were out for. Everything seemed to be fine on my end, but just did a restart. Thank you for notifying me in the chat, Dixie. But we've had some good fighting going on that I was talking a lot about that was apparently not getting picked up because my microphone decided that, no. Space Ghost closing on the back of Renovatio. They do have that 5-second time penalty. So technical glitch resulting in no comms, but comms should be back up and good to go now. So we'll catch up with Space Ghost, who is on their way around. Chronicle is now closing up to the back of Oba Mendez. We'll actually take a look as that fight continues to develop. Hard to tell. Oba Mendez might have some damage after that incident because, well, Stashes is on the move. We'll check in with Stashes again. Who is on the move in the Alfa Romeo? Oh, side by side. Looks like a little bit of contact between them and the Mercedes. They actually look like they had to step on the brake as their rear wing closed. The DRS closed up and then got reopened. But it looks like Ivory Lightning holding the inside. Stashes trying to go around the outside. And that switches to the inside. And once again, the outside move coming off for the overtaking car. And now Ivory Lightning being moved back in the pack just a little bit. Although a mistake, it looks like, from Stashes over that curbing. Ivory Lightning going to have a chance to attack down into turn 17. Rear light flashing on that Alfa Romeo, so it's running out of battery. And Ivory Lightning now has the DRS. Rear wing is open in the slipstream, closing 3/10, 2/10. Moving to the inside as they're going to try and defend. Up the inside goes Ivory Lightning on the brakes. It looks like they've just about got the car covered. But Stash is going to try and get that exit. They're going to have a second dose of DRS coming down the main straight, the pit straight. But is it going to be enough to reattack? No, not quite. And Ivory Lightning has taken that position back. No, Stash is a huge dive and has overshot the corner. So Ivory Lightning avoiding that incident. And that is going to cost Stashes quite a bit of time. He's managed to stay within 1 second, but it is a big mistake going way deep into the corner. We do have divisions for Xbox and PlayStation. Xbox actually runs on Saturdays, so it ran earlier today, just before this race, and PlayStation runs on Sundays. So yes, we do have divisions for PC, Xbox, and PlayStation in this one. Space Ghost making the move on Renovatio, relatively elementary is that one. So we will just take a look at that, make sure that job is quite done. And we'll jump back to this battle between Stashes and Ivory Lightning, which is hotting up quite a lot. Lap 20 of 29 done in this one, as Project Stealth starting to close on the back of Chronicle. Ivory Lightning picks up 3-second time penalty for track limits warnings. That is going to be a problem for them. We'll check in with Project Stealth, who is closing up now on the back of Chronicle. The Aston Martin has had a bit of a day in the walls here and has run wide once again. And they are starting to really probably pick up those track limit warnings. Project Stealth having to get on the emergency brakes to avoid any kind of incident. But we'll see what kind of release they've gotten off of this corner. Can they make the move with the DRS down into turn 17? It's a tricky one. It's a very sharp corner. Can they make the move stick? It doesn't look like they're going to be close enough to get down in there. We'll keep an eye. Cypher has stayed out and is continuing on those medium tires. If they've got good tire dig, they can maybe get to the end. We'll take a look at the tire life. 15 laps already done. You can really only get about 20 laps or so done on those medium tires as Project Stealth to the outside of turn 1. Chronicle defending to the inside. It's going to switch to the inside for Project Stealth. Side by side they go through this switchback. And Chronicle comes out just ahead, although a little wobble from Chronicle has given Project Stealth a little bit of extra momentum. Can they get the job done? We'll move actually just for the time being to this battle between Stashes and Ivory Lightning. We'll keep an eye on the time deltas for Project Stealth and Chronicle. As Stashes attacks, is he going to make the move? Has a look to the inside, but it is covered off by the Mercedes. We'll jump back again to this battle. Project Stealth losing a bit of time through the opening sector, and that is going to really hurt their ability to make an attacking move on the Aston Martin of Chronicle ahead. But Project Stealth just needs to bide their time. They seem to have a little bit better innate pace. They've just got to try and find their way past. A little further up the road, Space Ghost getting close to the back of Cypher. Now, on this one, as Cypher's tires are certainly starting to die towards the end of their life. Oh, a big snap of oversteer for Project Stealth. Manages to keep it out of the barriers, but that is going to take them right out of that battle. Space Ghost once again showing himself in the mirrors of Cypher. It's now gotten down to 0.2 of a second as they entered the braking zone. Now just about 0.4. So The battle for the lead of this race definitely getting interesting. Renovatio, 2.5 seconds off of the fight. Has a little bit of a safe gaff to Stolen Valor. But if Cypher has to make a pit stop and Renovatio stays out and Space Ghost has to serve that 5-second penalty, it is indeed going to be a potential race win for Renovatio, taking those hard tires to the end of the race. Keeping an eye on, looks like Ivory Lightning and Stashes getting ready to go at it once again. Space Ghost looks to be just a little bit far back, although has gotten some overspeed. Switches outside, inside, has a look, shows himself. Side by side they go. Space is left on the inside by the Red Bull, but that extra bit of traction you can get now down the inside goes Space Ghost, and they've just got to back it out. Stashes now switching to the inside of Ivory Lightning and not going to get that move quite finished. Yellow flags. Project Stealth is out of this session. Is it going to be? It is another full safety car. This is a big savior for Cypher. They can come in and make their necessary pit stop and go to the end of the race, as it looks like the safety car Delta bug has come in. So everybody comes to a screeching halt on the track to let their Delta get back to negative. And some people did not respect it. Oba Mendez having to pick up that drive-through for speeding for not respecting the Delta. It's unfortunate that that bug exists, but everybody is well aware of it. Everybody should know how to manage it. And we'll take a look, and Cypher is indeed coming into the pit lane with Space Ghost right behind. So, going to be pretty even Stevens on tires. Renovatio out in the lead of this race now on the hards. And smart for Space Ghost to come in, even though he has tires to get to the end. Come in, just serve that 5-second penalty, get it off of the mark. Let me get that to you. We do have a link. We should have a successful vanity link in this one. Let me just double check and make sure I'm not giving you the wrong information. Yeah, it should be discord.gg/FRS Racing should take you there. You can join that Discord and sign up for, we have late signups, of course, available. So you see there are some spaces on the grids. So, more than welcome to join. If you are Xbox, PlayStation, I would guess, if you're asking about console. Quite a few reserve spots available in both. So, take a look at what's going on there. There's a lot of other stuff going on in that community, but you're more than welcome to join. Lap 23 of 29 in this one. Renovatio, Stolen Valor, Ivory Lightning have all stayed out on their hard compound tires. Cypher is in with a set of softs, as is Space Ghost, as they came out 4th and 5th. Chronicle, P6 on 11 lap old softs, or hards. Wilco, Oba Mendez, and Zhao all opting for the end of this one. Stashes, while I was not looking, got DSQ. Okay. Not sure why. Might have to watch that back. Chronicle is into the pit lane, sees the writing on the wall about the soft compounds all around him, and has come into the pits. The leaders, though, staying out. So not sure what happened with Stashes. Hopefully we'll get a debrief from him in the Discord later. Oh, blocking pit. That's unfortunate. That is. Thank you for watching that while I was trying to hunt down our Discord link to post into the chat. But that is massively unfortunate to get a DSQ for blocking the pit exit. I mean, on one hand, it's very tough, but you want to try and be as careful as possible under safety car conditions, and it's what happens. But we're going to have a very short little shootout to the end of this one. The clouds are coming in, but checking the weather, we are very low percentage chance for rain. Should still be dry the rest of the way, although the track temperature may come down just a little bit to the very end. Looks like it's just Zhao who has to catch up to the rest of the pit, or to the safety car queue. Though with 5 laps left to go, they will indeed certainly let them catch up. Zhao's got to find quite a bit of pace, though. They're not really making too many inroads into this. Still hovering right about 45 minutes. Has Zhao picked up damage? Is that what's going on? No, they're starting to make some moves now, but they may not let Zhao catch up to this pack. Does seem that the safety car stayed out, so there is at least one more lap where Zhao can pelt around and try to catch up. Tire warm-up is going to be very tough for these hard tire runners, and now they've got a whole bunch of soft tires right behind Rarin to go. Cypher in really the catbird seat for the lead of this race. Renovatio is going to need some help from Stolen Valor and Ivory Lightning to kind of hold the pack up a little bit and make it difficult. It's only going to be about 4 green flag laps at the end of this one. So it is going to be a quick one. Not a lot of laps left to go. We're just over the 1 hour mark of our 2 hour time limit, so we are in no danger of running over that. So we will indeed go to the end of this race. But as it stands, Renovatio leads from Stolen Valor and Ivory Lightning. All 3 drivers on the hard compound tires. Stolen Valor on the safest. Ivory Lightning, Captain Wilco, and Obo Mendez all carrying drive-through penalties, though, which is unfortunate. It's a bug that happens, but we would hope that people know how to handle it. You got to come to, rest of the drivers handled it. Because it's unfortunate if you get just caught out a little bit by it. So that's 3 drivers that will cycle towards the back of the grid. However, only 9 cars left running in this one, so finishing the race is some points scored. We'll grab Renovatio once again, as I would guess we will probably get back to green flag racing in this one. It'll be lap 26 when we go. If the safety car does indeed come in this lap. Zhao is only a couple of seconds off the back and is catching relatively quickly this time. And we will just have to wait and see if indeed we go one more lap under safety car. So Renovatio out at the front of this one has got some work to do. Safety car is indeed in this lap. Renovatio is going to take control of the field and back them up and start getting those tires warmed up. So look for those hard tire runners to really try and work those tires as much as they can. Renovatio letting the safety car get well away in this one. Has had quite a few safety car restarts this season as the leader of the pack. And he may be waiting long enough for the safety car to come into the pit lanes and he can bolt out of this hairpin trying to get traction down. We will just wait for that throttle to increase. He's still managing it. Still has not yet gone. Still holding. Wilco is going to dive into the pit lane, and there goes Renovatio. So waits till the last possible second to send us back to green flag racing, and that is going to let Cypher get a good run. Oh, contact between Ivory Lightning and Stolen Valor. Ivory Lightning goes too deep and catches the back of Stolen Valor. Oh no! And around goes Renovatio, out of this race, has lost the rear on the cold tires. Oh no, what a mess of a restart there. Ivory Lightning now leads the race with Oba Mendez and Space Ghost behind. Cypher got caught up in that. He may have some wing damage. He's all the way down to 7th. Stolen Valor has at least recovered from that tap, is down now into 4th. And Oba Mendez has taken the lead of this race away from Ivory Lightning. Space Ghost is in 2nd, having already cleared that penalty, but both the cars ahead of him have drive-thrus. So Space Ghost needs to hustle. He's side by side with the Mercedes. No space being given right up against the barrier as Ivory Lightning down into turn 11. Can Ivory Lightning hold that position? Space Ghost raring to go with those soft tires. Chronicle well off the track, sending it deep on those soft tires. And side by side, they continue to fight. The Mercedes and the McLaren, not a great place to fight through here, but it looks like they've just about sorted it out in this one. As now there's some ghosting going on, as it looks like Cypher is just kind of driven into the inside of the McLaren of Space Ghost. But they are nose to tail now, and is going to be very close between Space Ghost and Chronicle down into the braking zone of turn 17. Chronicle having a look to the inside. He's been late on the brakes a lot of times already today, and he's managed to get that position away from Space Ghost. Into the pit lane comes Ivory Lightning. has to be careful not to pick up a penalty with the drive-through, as has Oba Mendez. So they're both serving their drive-throughs. Chronicle into the lead of this race with Space Ghost right behind Stolen Valor third, and Cypher now in fourth. Tire-wise, Stolen Valor on those hard compound tires. It just has to try and stay ahead, as we are now down to just 2.5 laps left to go in this one. Lap 27 of 29. And the battle for the lead is very, very spicy. Space Ghost and Chronicle duking it out side by side. Chronicle has made some aggressive moves. Cypher has gotten by Stolen Valor just in the background there, although Stolen Valor's had that huge straight line speed. Oh, and there's contact between the two. It looks like they've gotten tangled and lost quite a bit of time to the lead pack. We'll jump back up to this lead pack, though. I think they just kind of got that magnetic wheel to side pod. Side by side goes Space Ghost on Chronicle. He's going to have the outside. Chronicle late on the brakes. Is he going to get it slowed down in time? Space Ghost left space for the inside. And Space Ghost has taken over the lead of this race. It continues to be a battle between the Ferrari and the Red Bull. But it looks like Cypher is just about going to come out ahead in this one. Zhao is also sniffing at the back of this fight inside the top 5. Ivory Lightning still has 3 seconds from track limits, but is a good 16 seconds in. And oh, into the wall goes Zhao! He's gotten some wing damage. He's gone too deep, understeered into the barrier. And into the barrier goes Zhao. Oh, no. And that is another driver that is going to be dropping right to the back of it. Only 2 flying laps left to go in this race as the leaders come out of the final couple of corners. Space Ghost 9/10 of a second ahead of Chronicle. Cypher closing up on the back of Chronicle. Stolen Valor with those hard tires has a gap to Oba Mendez, his teammate, behind, as Zhao is going to have to... No, has Zhao stayed out on the track? I think Zhao has stayed out on the track, has no front wing, is not going to make a pit stop. Is Oba Mendez damaged behind as well? Zhao, an interesting decision to make in this one, is running around with no front wing. So, he's got some great straight line speed, is losing time hand over fist to Oba Mendez. Now, it's going to be all about, can he do the 2 laps and keep it out of the barriers with no wing? Cypher closing up on Chronicle. Space Ghost has gotten away from Chronicle very well. And now the Red Bull pushing very hard to get on to the second step of the podium. It's going to be very tough for Stolen Valor to close up to this pack, I think. I think they may have some minor wing damage from their incident with Cypher. And while the battling that we saw at some points in this race, we may see some of that going to the steward's room in the end. But as it stands, Space Ghost leads from Chronicle and Cypher. Oba Mendez has made their way past Zhao for P5, so it's a Ferrari 4-5 in this one. A good 22 points on offer for the Tifosi in this one. But it looks like Cypher now with the DRS is going to have an attacking move on Chronicle. Chronicle, though, quick in a straight line. Even with the DRS, Chronicle is opening the gap a little bit. Deep on the brakes goes Cypher side by side. I think they're going to be a little bit too late on the brakes into turn 17. Sweeps across the front is Chronicle, maintaining that position. And now Space Ghost starting the final lap of the race with a 3-second cushion to this battling pack behind him. Into turn 1, no move on just yet for Cypher. We're going to grab the onboard and watch as Cypher looks to attack the Aston Martin ahead. So into the middle portion of the lap. Slow is Cypher. Oh, and big step of oversteer. And Cypher has lost the back end. Cypher is around. Has to get the car rotated. Stolen Valor now onto the podium. So it is going to be a Space Ghost, Chronicle, and Cypher, as his Cypher has fallen behind Oba Mendez. He's going to have a chance at, look, he's spun without taking any damage. Now has 2 DRS zones to try and attack the Ferrari to take away that 4th and 5th. Now the Ferrari's up into 3 and 4. And Cypher has slipped just outside of the DRS range of the Ferrari ahead. So Stolen Valor staying the course on those hard compound tires has let the mistakes come to him in this one. Cypher is going to have to try and close up and get inside that DRS range of Oba Mendez. If he doesn't, it's just about job done for the Tifosi in this one. Through the little Mickey Mouse section, he has got it to a DRS range, 0.8 of a second. It's going to have to be a pretty big lunge. He's closing. He's gotten the launch off that final corner, though. 0.7 the margin. We are going to jump up to the race leader, though, as Space Ghost is going to come across and win the Miami Grand Prix. taking home P1. Chronicle will be next across the line in the Aston Martin as Stolen Valor puts his Ferrari on the podium now, down out of turn 17. Cypher has not made the move. Stick on Oba Mendez, who comes home fourth, and Cypher is fifth. Zhao, limping his way around with no front wing, is going to come home sixth and hold that position from Ivory Lightning, who is seventh. Those 3-second time penalties will keep him ahead of CPT Wilco. So Space Ghost wins the Miami Grand Prix, the second visit to the United States, and Space Ghost comes out on top. Well, that got spicy in the final lap. Cypher with a bit of a mistake in the end. But quite a bit to digest in that one, and probably some stuff with the restart going to the steward's room. Oh boy, that was something. That was indeed quite a bit of action. We wait for it as the podiums come out. Taking the top step, as he has so often done, Space Ghost, P1 in this one. Chronicle, I believe, is his first podium of the season. Has got himself up into the second place. And then P3, Stolen Valor, still keeping the championship hopes alive, but a 10-point swing to Space Ghost in this one opens that gap up just a little further, as there is now just 4 races left to go in this season. 6 races done, 4 to go. So we will get your final provisional order. And we just wait for that screen to come up, as it is taking a little bit of time to load. Hello, Roy. You caught just jumping in at the end of something. Was an interesting end of the race, as maybe we won't get the final race classification. It looks like we haven't gotten it. So that's a bummer. Oh well. But we are going back to racing again in Miami tomorrow. Yep, so we didn't get the race results screen. Interesting. Well, we'll do the math. I've got the broadcast, so I can at least do the math there. But thank you all for joining me. We do have a break week coming up. There was some shambles. It wasn't too awful. There was only 2 safety cars, I believe. But there was some shambolicness, for sure. It was a good race. It was an interesting race. Definitely an interesting one in this one. I would recommend going and watching it. It was a fun race for sure. Miami is delivered as a pretty good racing track, although, as you would expect, the places where people you think should, just back out and think self-preservation, they insisted on racing through those sections, and the expected happened. So we do have races, just 2 tomorrow, as PlayStation is opting to take this week as their break week and are going to go racing Miami next week. We are going to have 2 more races tomorrow, PC Division 3 and PC Division 2, back to back on FRS Motorsports. So I will catch you guys next time. Thank you for joining me, and hopefully I'll have this weird Silverstone graphic showing fixed by tomorrow. But y'all have a great day and a good afternoon, a good evening, wherever you are.